Hurst from Hamilton County Schools. We are going to continue our work with the Wives of Los Alamos today we are going to take some time to look at the point of view that this story creates. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I want you to go ahead and do this warm-up. Who was telling the story, the Wives of Los Alamos? Who is the narrator? We did some work on this yesterday, but just thought it would be a good reminder. Who was telling this story? All right, so we know that the Wives of Los Alamos was told through a plural narrator, which means that it has more than one person speaking as the narrator. So normally when an author wants to have more than one narrator, they just make the story be told from multiple perspectives. So for example, Wonder, if you've ever read Wonder, you hear from Augie, you hear from Augie's sister, you hear from Augie's friend, you hear from a lot of different characters. They just have different chapters. In this text, however, there's like one narrator who is telling multiple people's stories all at once, which is really unique. So the one narrator is representing lots of different stories. So what we're going to do today is we're going to think about how the author established the point of view of the narrator and the effect of that decision. What is that? How does that impact the story? The fact that we have this plural narrator, not multiple perspectives, but a plural narrator. So I'm going to do a couple of lines for you guys that showed me. So like basically I'm going to be looking for lines where I realize we have multiple people talking. And then I'm going to think about how that shows perspective and what is the effect of it. So in this first paragraph, I'm thinking, when is the first time that I noticed that that we have a plural narrator? So I'm thinking this line. This is the first time we have the word we. So I'm going to go ahead and do, this is in paragraph 1. So like I said, the use of we shows if more than one person is being described here. That's how I know it's showing the perspective of a plural narrator. So what is the effect of this plural narrator? What is the effect of using the word we here? So for me, even though it is only one person's exact story, right? Not multiple people are having this exact experience. We suggests that many women went through a similar experience. Okay, so that is the effect I get from using we. Next, I'm going to look at paragraph 4. And then this line is really interesting to me. Or it did not happen like that at all. Oh. So how does this show perspective? This is a really interesting line. This line shows that this narrator's experience is actually varied. More than one story. It's possible. But the narrator is actually multiple people. So what is the effect of that? So introducing the idea that something entirely different happened shows that women have had similar experiences, even if they were actually quite different. So how do I know they were similar? They're similar enough to fit in the same story. Okay. What I want you guys to do now is take some time to look at paragraphs 5 through 7 and see if you can find an example in paragraphs 5 through 7 that showed you that we have multiple or plural narrators. And then think about how did that line tell you that? And what is the effect of that? Pause me while you do that work and press play when you are ready to continue. All right, the lines in paragraphs 5 through 7 that I thought were really interesting was when they're talking about, it's actually in paragraphs 5 and 6, when they're talking about the educations of the women. So this is paragraphs 5 through 6. So we had degrees from Mount Holyoke, as our grandmothers did, or from a junior college, as our fathers insisted. We had doctorates from Yale. We had coursework from MIT and Cornell. So how does this show perspective? Women telling the story have all gone to different colleges, confirming that it's multiple women. So why do I think this line is so interesting? So we've got junior college all the way up to getting a doctorate from Yale. We got junior college, degrees from Mount Holyoke, some coursework from MIT and Cornell. We've got a range of schools that are less well-known, schools that don't even get a name here, junior college, all the way up to a doctorate from Yale. So what this tells me is that women from varying backgrounds, we're all in this same position, right? It's not just women who didn't have much education. It's not just really educated women. It's women from all different backgrounds, okay? So I just want you guys to remember that a good reader is going to consider how the author developed the point of view in the text and why. What was the effect of that point of view? What I want you guys to do for your exit ticket is I want you to find an example that shows the point of view in paragraphs 8 through 10 and fill out the chart we've been working on. So you're just going to show me that you understand this work. When you're done with that, you are good to go for my class. Have a wonderful rest of your day.